Hi, vacation rental owner or manager. There's a $10,000 plus mistake that I'm seeing, and it almost always happens right after an owner has already poured a huge amount of money into their property. This episode will tell you what that mistake is and how to avoid it. Hey, vacation rental owner, welcome back to Step Up Your STR, the show all about decorating your property so that it can make max revenue. I'm Cara, and I've designed dozens of STRs, all of which charge in the top 10% of their area competitors and make up to 153% more after working with me. So today we're talking about a mistake that I am seeing more and more. It quietly drains at least $10,000 a year away from STR owners, sometimes even more than that. And the worst part, most owners don't even realize that they've made the mistake until they're months or even years into their property underperforming as far as bookings, bad reviews, or, just lackluster reviews, and the owner's increased frustrations. This mistake happens when owners spend big, sometimes 50, 75, or even $100,000 on a renovation, but then they shortchange the one thing that actually sells the stay. They don't invest in the correct design. And the result is they have they might have great new tile floors, brand new walls, maybe a spa shower, and then they'll have some mismatched furniture, clunky layouts, and listing photos that will just make guests scroll right past you. And that, my friends, is the $10,000 mistake, not investing in the right decor because maybe you spent too much on your renovation. You blew the design money. Today, I'm going to guide you on how to avoid this because here's the truth. I do not want you spending a single dollar on your STR that doesn't directly help you earn more money back. So if you're in the middle of a renovation or just starting one, or maybe planning one, thinking of one, this episode might save you thousands of dollars. Let me paint a picture for you. I worked with a client. I'll call her Lisa. That's not her real name, but this is a real story. Lisa had a cute 3-bedroom cabin near a ski resort. She and her husband wanted to turn it into an STR so that they could earn some income and cover the mortgage. And they thought, like so many owners do, if we remodel this, guests will love it. We'll get top dollar. It'll pay for itself in no time. So they hired a contractor, knocked down some walls, added a bigger bathroom, and they put in some shiny new floors, painted everything a fresh white. That's a good thing, a fresh white. But they also did all new appliances in the kitchen when maybe they didn't need to, and it looked good. But it cost them over $75,000 when they had actually budgeted only 50. Here's the thing. By the time that remodel was done, they were exhausted and their budget was gone. So for furniture and decor, they did what they thought was a budget-friendly route. They bought a clearance sofa online. They got a dining table from Facebook Marketplace, although they didn't do research on it to see if it was made of real wood or made well. They got the cheapest beds they could find. They found some random lamps that didn't match at some secondhand stores. And actually, their bedding wasn't all the right fit for the size of mattresses that they had. But they went ahead and listed it on Airbnb because they were overtime on their renovation and just needed to get it out there and have it start making the money. But the photos, well, they looked fine. They were not bad, but certainly they were not amazing. Nothing about the photos made you stop scrolling and think, wow, I want to stay here. 6 months later, Lisa found me and called. She was frustrated. Bookings were way lower than she expected. Guests complained that a couple things were cheap, like the bed broke on one of the guests. Those things were already breaking because the furniture they got wasn't built to last. When we looked at their numbers, Their property was earning at least 15,000 less per year than similar listings in the area. I mean, it's just tragic. And all of this because the design didn't match the investment that they made into their remodel. Okay, the $10,000 mistake is okay, that's the $10,000 mistake. Spending big on the renovation and then shortchanging the very thing that guests actually see, that they feel, and that they experience. They did not spend on their design. So, why does this happen? Why do so many owners fall into this trap? It's because people are trained to think in terms of construction value. They believe that new quartz countertops, a custom tile shower, brand new floors, all of these things make a property worth more, quote, worth more. But here's the truth. Guests can't feel your new plumbing. They can't see your upgraded HVAC system. They don't care how much you spent on insulation. What they do notice is how your living room looks in the photos, whether the beds look inviting and luscious to sleep in, if the space feels like a really neat vacation rental or just somebody's house with some new floors. This is what sells the stay is great design. This is what gets you bookings. So when 90% of your budget goes to things that guests don't even see or care about, and then you try to scrape together whatever is left for furniture, for lighting layout, and other decor elements, then you end up with a property that looks meh. Like, even though, like you just didn't care so much, even though you did just spend a small fortune on the renovation. And here's the kicker. I've seen dated properties with killer design outperform fully renovated homes with bad design because guests are not buying your remodel. They're buying a good experience. Okay, let's talk about the actual cost of this mistake. If your property could earn $60,000 per year, but because of poor design, it only earns $45,000 a year, that is $15,000 in lost revenue every single year. Not to mention the cost of replacing cheap furniture when it falls apart, or the cost of poor reviews hurting your listing visibility, or the cost of redoing the design later when you realize that guests expect more. And so suddenly that budget-friendly approach is looking pretty expensive, isn't it? So when I talk about this mistake, I hear some of the same objections from owners all the time. Let's tackle a few of them. Objection number one, I can upgrade later. Here's the problem. Your listing's first impression sets the tone for its entire performance. If you launch with a half-baked design, you will get fewer bookings, fewer reviews, and lower visibility in Airbnb's algorithm or whatever platform that you're using. Upgrading your furnishings later doesn't undo that timeline and money that you've lost in the meantime. Objection number two, guests won't notice the furniture. Oh, believe me, they do notice. Guests may not articulate it as cheap furniture, but they feel it. They can feel it when the sofa sags or a bed squeaks, when the lighting feels harsh instead of cozy. And they absolutely see it in the listing photos when the space looks mismatched or bland. Objection number three, design doesn't affect revenue that much. Okay, I've run the numbers with clients. This is the absolute opposite. Properties with intentional professional level design earn thousands more per year, sometimes tens of thousands, because design absolutely impacts booking rate, nightly rate, and guest satisfaction. Your design is the first interaction that you have with a potential guest. And if it doesn't say it's great, your guests don't want to book it. Objection number four, I just need to get it listed fast. I get this. I really understand. Time is of the essence when it comes to our industry. But rushing to list your property with bad design is like showing up to a job interview wearing sweatpants because you just wanted to get there quickly. That's the feeling. I just want to do it quickly, quote unquote. But it's not worth it to rush too fast. Impressions matter so much. Okay, how do you avoid falling into the trap of spending way too much on a remodel and not leaving enough for your design? I have a 3-step framework. Step 1, start with the guest experience first. Before you spend a dime on construction, ask, what would guests want to see in the photos? What will make them stop scrolling? Okay, this involves, research on other properties, seeing what your property can handle, standing out in good ways compared with other people. Maybe you need to stand out in the way of appealing to business travelers, whereas everybody else is trying to appeal to families. So this takes a fair amount of research. Step 2, design everything before you remodel. When I work with clients, I create a design plan first. And that way the remodel works hand in hand with the design, with the construction, not the other way around. Did I say that right? The remodel works hand in hand with the design. Yes, not the other way around. We know what the layout will be, the furniture sizes, lighting, the finishes, all before anyone swings a hammer. Step 3, budget property. As a rule of thumb, at least 20% of your overall spend should go toward design, furniture, and guest experience elements. Not 5%, not 10%, plan on 20%, if not more, because these are the things that will directly drive your revenue. Now, after you have great design in place, here are some following steps to take. First, get photos that show off your property to its very best. Invest in professional photography once the design is done. And review your design at least annually, because small upgrades will keep you competitive and prevent slipping ratings. And remember that nothing lasts forever. Eventually, you'll need to update your design. Okay, if you don't want to tackle this, I completely understand. Design is complicated. It is not intuitive. This is what I do for my clients. I assist them with STR design that makes them more money. I can step in before a remodel is done and make sure every dollar you spend will work toward creating a property that books at top rates for you. I prevent that $10,000 mistake because I know where owners go wrong and how to fix it before it costs them money. So if you're planning a remodel or you're halfway through one, or maybe you've just bought a property and you're not sure where to start, you're very welcome to talk with me before you spend another dollar. I promise it's better to get your design done the right way from the beginning. You can find my contact info in the description. I offer several different services depending on your needs. Your property shouldn't just look nice, it should make you money. Thank you for joining in on this episode of Step Up Your STR, and I look forward to talking again next time. By the way, I will link some corresponding episodes that can help you, including how to choose an interior designer for your STR. I'll link those in the description. Talk next time.